We got back from our spring break trip last night, and it was nice to have a little break from taking care of animals. But now that we're back, we have lots of work to do. I came out here to try and get electric fence wire back up around our pig pen because we're picking up 4 piglets tonight. You have to see my favorite goat that's always getting in trouble. But let's see what he's done this time. Oh, Willie. What have you done this time? He's got a whole bunch of chicken wire stuck on his horns. You are the biggest bozo I have ever met. Alright, you skippy goat. Piled all of our junk out of the garden in here after our pigs were gone. Now I gotta clean it up. Tomato cages everywhere.
I came from the mud. There's dirt on my hands. Strong like a tree. There's roots where I stand. Oh, I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down soon. They sing on a sleepless night. Try to catch me howling at the moon.
Last year when we got piglets, we put up this electric fence, but they kept getting underneath it because they were so little. So that's why we have these really long boards right here. We just kind of had to put them up underneath the electric fence so they couldn't push underneath it. But this year we have got a little bit of this half of a hog panel. I think I'm going to try putting it in the ground, pushing it down so that they can't go under the electric wire, and the electric wires can go in front of it. Hopefully that'll keep them from getting under. We'll see.
Many men try to reach it. Many men have failed. Well, if you wanna get to heaven, you gotta raise a little hell. And I've been running from the law. Hope they won't shoot me down.
First duck egg of the season. See if we get some more.
Will you find me?
It's a windy day. Blew my camera over.
So it's been a few days since we got home from our trip, and Andrea showed you cleaning up this pig pen a little bit, but I wanted to show these pigs we got. See if I can get in here with them in their little house. Here we go. Oh yeah. Oh, there they are. So we got 4 little piggies. We haven't even given them names yet. I think the black one might be called Pickle. I think. We'll find out. But these are the ones we're gonna show. At least one of them is gonna show in the 4-H. And then the other 3, I don't know. Bacon, I guess. Lots and lots of bacon. But today, We're not doing, hold on, scoop bag. Oh yeah. So today we're not doing pigs. That's what we're not focusing on. We are going to start propagating some of our plants around this property that we want to make more of. We've got lots of trees that are nice trees, but they're either in weird locations or we just want more of them. So we're going to propagate some of those and some of those cuttings that we made from the apple trees when we pruned those a few weeks ago. So we're going to do some just hardwood cuttings of these and start propagating them. I'll show you how we do that. All right, to start this propagation, we're going to need a few supplies. Initially, we're going to pick up a lot of supplies as we go, but initially, these are the things we got. A bag of all-purpose sand. Pick that up at the local hardware store. Ice cream bucket. Pick that up at the grocery store. Bin of some sort. Pick this one up from under my house. I think it's from the 1970s. Like 1970s Tupperware. And last but not least, some skis. No, we don't need skis. But those are there because we haven't put them away yet, because 2 weeks ago we were skiing. That's how fast the temperature has changed around here. So, first thing we're gonna do, take our bucket, we're just gonna fill it full of sand. Next, we're gonna take our bucket in hand, we're gonna go fill it up with some water. Andrew's got done transplanting a bunch of our flower bed. You don't see anything yet. There's just a bunch of bulbs in there that she's moved. So here in a few weeks we'll have some awesome flowers. Alright, so there's a ton of water in here. It may seem like too much, but we're gonna basically wring that water out as we put it into here. So I'm just gonna scoop it with my hands, we'll let as much water drip off as it will, and then we'll just load it up into this. It might take me a few buckets to get this thing as full as I want. Well, as you can see, I got more water in there than I wanted. So I'm gonna put a layer of dry sand on top of this, and then we're gonna put one more layer of wet sand, and hopefully that evens it out so that the water is not standing in there. I want the sand wet, but I don't want standing water. And I don't want it pooling in the bottom either. So I just want the sand moist. So hopefully that dry level will kind of even everything out. We'll see how it goes. Now that we've got the sand in place, next thing we need is some pruning shears. Pruning shears? Pruning shears. Whatever the heck those things are called. All right, so I found me a few supplies. Some pruners, some rooting hormone, a cups to put rooting hormone in. I don't know what that means. Kids are weird. Some cuttings off of an apple tree, and a saw. Why the saw? Because it was close and I didn't have to walk clear out to the shop. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make a line in our sand with the saw. Sometimes you just gotta draw a line in the sand. Line in the sand. We're gonna take some of this rooting hormone and just put some in a cup because I don't want to contaminate this. If there's something on these cuttings, viruses, bacteria, whatever, I don't want it growing in here. So I'm gonna put it in here and then I'll just throw this whole thing away when I'm done. Keep it sanitary, I guess. So I'm just gonna open up these, cut some pieces to the right size. We'll dip the ends in the rooting hormone, stick it in our line in the sand. Pretty simple. That's the basic idea of what we're doing. So we're just gonna take some of these smaller ones compared to some of those bigger ones. We're gonna take the smaller ones, and those are the ones we're gonna try to root today. So first thing I'm gonna do is just cut off this end where it was cut before, just to get me a fresh cutting there. And then I'm gonna count up about 3 buds. So there's a bud there, there's a bud there, there's kind of 2. We're gonna go up to this 3rd one. And then I'm gonna cut just to the 4th one right below it. Boom. Just shot across the yard. Gotta go find that. So I got my little bud I cut right there. I'm gonna make sure, if you can see the bud, that is growing so I can get it to focus. Focus on the bud. Come on. I want that to be pointing up the way that the root will go. If it goes this way, the bud's gonna try to grow down first and then have to cut back up. So I want it that way, so it's gonna grow up. And then we're just gonna take this end, dip it in here, stir it around a little bit, get it nice and coated. Whoop, not that much. And then we'll plop it in the sand. All right, we're just gonna do that about 20 more times with the apples, and then I'm gonna go cut some other things and we'll start propagating some other stuff around the yard. So I just pushed the dirt around these a little bit to kind of make them, keep them covered. My battery's about to die and I realized that I don't have any more charged. So we're gonna take a break on this and we'll come back after we get some more batteries charged. Probably be tomorrow because it's getting a little bit late. It'll be dark by the time those batteries are charged. So I'll catch you guys tomorrow and we'll do some more. Well, it's been a few days, but I am back to propagating some of these plants. The ones on our property that I really want to get cuttings from are, the ones I really want are actually too small to take any cuttings. But I do want to get some boxwood that we have and honey locust tree. I'm gonna get a bunch of cuttings off of those two and we'll just do those today. I might do some other down the road, some lilacs, some little things like that if these ones work well. But for today we're just gonna do those two. I want to show you the difference in how we're gonna do them because the boxwood still has some leaves on them. So we're gonna go get some cuttings from those right now. So the only real difference with these is that they have the leaves on them. Other than that, we're gonna treat them the same. This will be almost like it's a soft wood cutting, not a hardwood cutting. I think that's the difference what you call them. But the idea is we're just gonna leave just these top little leaves here on there. The rest of it's all gonna be peeled off. So we're just gonna peel it like that. One more. And we'll just dip them like that and put them in. So that's what it's gonna look like. All right, we're gonna go get a few more cuttings in the back. We'll head through the house and get those ones in and we'll call that good for today. So this is just a tree we've got in the backyard, just right outside our back door. It is a honey locust tree. It's a pretty quick growing tree, great for shade, and it's pretty safe to have out in the pastures with the animals. So we want to get a bunch of them so we can shade some of this pasture that we have, even though we don't have a bunch of it. But I want to get a bunch of these growing, started now, and we'll probably keep them in some pots and move them around and find some places for them down the road. But these ones I think will be pretty quick to root. They grow very, very quickly. So we're going to cut some of those. Nothing too different about it. We'll just cut off some that we don't, branches that we don't need on here. All right, so we're back up here in the front. This has a few years growth on it. So this part here on the end is all last year's growth. You can see this kind of joint here where that stops. And that was 2 years ago. Didn't grow much, only grew about to there. And then the rest of this back is all the year before that, and then we've even got the year before that. So there's like 4 years growth on that branch right there. So we are just gonna do a bit of an experiment because I was gonna cut those off anyway, and I've got a lot of space in my little Tupperware thing. So we're gonna try, I'm gonna put all of last year's growth in first. We'll kind of do it in rows of the different growth and see if we can get all of them to root. I don't know which ones will and which ones won't, how long ago they will actually root, but we're gonna try it for fun. So this is last year's growth. Some of these are longer than others, so we're gonna trim some up a little bit, but some of them are still pretty long. Or short, I mean. So they're gonna stay as they were. And then we've got 2 years old growth. So I think that gives you an idea of what we're trying with this. I am by no means an expert on propagating these cuttings. I've never done it before. This is our first go round, so you're trying them out with us. But it seems pretty simple. We'll see how it works out. The idea is we're gonna leave them like that for at least 8 weeks, maybe a little bit longer because it's pretty cold right now and things still might be just a little bit on the dormant side, and so it might take them a while to bounce back. We did have some nice weather over the weekend. It was about 70 degrees here. We are back down to the 40s, maybe even the 30s. Got snow this morning, so things aren't springing up too quickly. We do have a few things that are some of our early stuff that's starting to come up, but it is still too cold for most things to grow right now. Before we sign off for the day, I wanted to give you guys a quick update on this calf, if we can find him. He's hiding from me somewhere. We now have him in the yard. He's just out in the yard playing all day long. Basically like a little puppy back here. Hey buddy, how are you doing? Oh yeah, that's a good boy. Yeah. Tell he still favors it. Wants to hold it up just a little bit, but we'll get him moving here. Well, he wasn't too quick to walk around, but if you can tell, he's putting full weight on it. Still has a bit of a limp. We'll see down the road if he can get to full size or not, if we'll have to butcher him a little early because of that, but he's doing really good. It's stable and holding him, so we're happy with it. Well, it's about dinner time and it's freezing out here, so I'm heading back in. We will check back on those cuttings here in a few weeks. In the meantime, if you guys liked what you're seeing, please subscribe, like this video, comment about what you like and didn't like, and we'll catch you guys next time.